Good morning to all you sports watchers out there. Now, I was going to do some sports coverages, but I'm going to do something a little different today. It has to do with the business of sports, because like anything else, sports is mainly a business, especially pro sports, because pro athletes make salaries, and like every average working person, they have to pay a lot of expenses and bills. And I think the topic I'm going to pick today is taxes, sports and taxation. Now I'll write a blog entry about this in my blog, but just going to talk a little bit about it. Of course, look a little bit about it. Now, sports and taxes. I think I think a lot of athletes, they, especially pro athletes, they make a lot of money in salaries, and they win championships and get prize money for it. Like people like Tiger Woods and Roger Federer, and maybe in some cases, not Phil Mickelson. And I wonder what their tax situation is. I wonder how they are able to pay taxes, or do they keep track of their earnings? Probably, probably not. This is maybe due to the simple fact that they play a lot of games and they have to focus on their winnings and focus on their sport, which is a good thing. But I would have to say it's not a good thing at the same time, because maybe some tax authorities, or like the IRS, for instance, they're probably watching them and watching their earnings. Of course, a little bit of economics. The more money you make, the more expenses you have to pay, and the more taxes you have to pay. It's kind of like a side gig in a way, because since like a side gig, making money, and to call it a hobby would be kind of ludicrous in a way, because you earn money from it, this hobby or so-called hobby. So maybe the IRS is watching, and that's the thing with side gigs, and that I will talk about later in another video. But this is with sports business. Now, in sports, pro sports, a lot of people bet on games and they make money. Like I have a lot of customers coming in betting on sports, and that tells me sports is big business. But the athletes, I wonder what their tax situation is, because I've heard in stories that a lot of pro athletes are paying their earnings to the IRS and other tax avenues. And this player who played for Spain, I think, he got into a lot of hot water due to his tax situation with Spanish authorities. And that tells me right there that a lot of these athletes, they never become aware of the money they make, and they're aware of what their tax situation is. Just like average people who are not aware of their tax situation. And these athletes, they never realize that what they're doing is a business as well. It's like any other job in a corporate setting. So it's like they have to keep that in mind, and keep that thought process in their mind, that they can't run away from their tax obligations, their tax responsibilities, just because they play pro sports. Because like anything else, it's a business, and it's like a job you go to. I wish I could go into details about this, more details, but I don't know a whole lot about taxes. Like some people like myself, I don't make a whole lot of money. I'm not a pro athlete or anything, but I would have to say these pro athletes, they make way too much money, and it probably shows in their tax situation. A lot of them get into debt and they owe a whole lot of money in taxes. And I've seen a lot of these, some athletes lose their savings and lose their possessions over a tax bill that's collectively big because they never took the time to pay attention to their earnings and to their, never pay attention to their books. They get all their accountants to take charge of their financial situation. And that's sad because the accountants sometimes do not have their best interests. They're in it to make money off the pro athletes themselves. So yeah, I think there has to be some sort of intervention regarding this pro athletes, and I think they have to pay attention to their earnings as well and realize that if they're in the U.S., they got to have Uncle Sam as their business partner. Or if they're in Canada, they have to have Captain Uncle Canuck as their business partner. Or whether you're even in any industrialized country, they got to have these cousins as their business partners because they got to keep track of their earnings and they have to put money aside as to how much to pay in taxes. I mean, taxation is it's a serious business, and it's with some authorities, tax evasion is a serious crime because they're withholding money that governments can use to run fundedly well-funded programs for its people. And I keep saying this: governments need money to operate. I don't like it, but that's just how it is. It's life. I thought that's it for sports for now, on this serious topic.